I'm partnered with W Energy Drinks now, so if you want to check them out, the link will be in the description. If you use code Puzzler, you get 10% off your order, plus I get a kickback, so. Okay. In today's video, I want to take a look at my designs on Cults 3D. The links will be in the description if you want to buy any of these, but I'm gonna go through each one and kind of talk about why I made it and why the price the way they are. So first one is the trumpet. This is a rendering I made of it, but here's the model. It's a not a super low poly, but it's kind of a low poly trumpet model. It is fully printable. I printed it before using resin. I don't remember why I made this. It was one of those things I looked back and found the file, finished it, and then went, might as well post it. So this one was pretty complicated to make. The bends and all this stuff connecting, making sure this wasn't too thin, the bell. So it had some difficulty, that's why it's $4.99, because that's how much I think my work was worth on this one. That's, well, per. So, to go back, 20-sided dice. This one actually took me a while, because if you see here, this is what it actually looks like. I don't know why the rendering showed. So the way I did this, I used Blender, made a 20-sided dice, and then used a tool to line up all the letters and do a Boolean modifier to subtract them to create the infill shapes. So each one of these I had to type out, line up with the face into the center, and then do the modifier, which was kind of difficult. It probably took me 2 or 3 hours because I never used the Boolean modifier before then. But this one's open price with a minimum of $0. You don't actually have to pay anything for this one. There's no minimum. So if you would like to just download this to support me, then feel free. Also, if you would like to follow me, that's greatly appreciated. Now we're getting on to the weapon. So the first one we're going to look at is the kunai. This is the rendering I made. This is a lower poly. I've sold these at vendor events I've gone to, and I've used them for... I haven't actually used them in a video, but I've had some fun with them. This is what the model looks like. I have it set to $2.99 because it's not super complicated, but it's also a very easy print to do because it's not very complicated. So it's nice for cosplay, you can paint it, and it's very strong, regardless of if it's low poly or not. Yeah, actually, I usually think low poly is stronger. Next are shurikens. So here's the first shuriken I ever made. It is fully 3D printable. I've printed it several times. I do wish I made it a circle in the center, but I'm not going to go back and change that now. This one wasn't too difficult to make. I made the points and then rotated them along the center point, 90 degrees each time, to make the shape. Then I had to connect them in the middle, which was the hard part, was making sure it was kind of clean and smooth here. But I have this also priced at $2.99 because it's simple. Oh yeah, also, all of my stuff is commercial use. So if you buy it, you can resell it if you want. You're just not allowed to sell the file, but you're allowed to print and sell the models. Or use them for advertisements or videos or whatever. But yeah, I have this at $2.99 because it's an easy print, but it's also not a bad quality. Well, I don't know why it's doing that. Anyways. Now, my favorite one. This is one I made a long time ago. If you are familiar with Hypixel Skyblock, you might recognize this model. This is inspired off the First Sky texture pack for the Hyperion. You can see all the different pieces. This one took me a while to make, not because it was super difficult, but because of the slots that fit into each other. I had to make sure you could push them together without it being too tight, but also be strong enough where you could use the standalone without any glue. If you push this thing together, you can use it without glue. It's actually pretty nice. I printed one of them before, but I lost it. I'm actually planning on printing another one of them for a video. But this one is $10, but that's because it's a more complicated model. It is commercial use, and it's a full-size sword. Because it's meant to be, I don't know why it's rendering weird. It's meant to be printed an inch thick per block. So each pixel of the sword would be an inch by inch by inch, which I believe makes it about 2 foot from handle to tip. I think it's like 23 inches from handle to tip. So yeah, it's a decent sized sword, full short sword size. Yeah, I really like this one. And it comes all together or disassembled. Well, there is no model where it's all together. It's either sold like this, or then each pieces. So that's what I mean by it's all together. Shuriken 5 point. So I like this one more than the other. It's got 5 points. The nice thing about this is the way this was designed actually allows it to fly. So if you flick your wrist and throw this thing, it'll actually stabilize, and the points are able to stick into stuff like cardboard. Like you could grab one of these, chuck it, fly it through the air, and stick it into cardboard. So it's really fun to throw around. But because it's this shape, it's also nice for cosplay. But yeah, I put it at $3, not just because that's what I'm doing the other ones as, but because it actually has functionality. And this one's just sold as the Shuriken. Pokemon card case. So this is actually one of the first models that I ever sold that came from Inferno, is what I used to make this. So inside here is a little push tab, and this is made perfectly sized, which it's sold like this with these two sitting together. It's printed at the perfect size where you can fit a minimum of 50 Pokemon cards inside. So it's like a little storage case of Pokemon cards, and to pull the lid off, you just pinch the front here. Pretty simple, but it's also very useful, and once you have one of them, you can print a bunch very cheaply, so that's why it's $5. Now, you can see 16th, 8th note, I'm only going to talk about one of them because they're basically the same thing. So these are some keychains I made a little bit ago. They're extremely simple, just the music notes with a keychain hole. So, simple, but it also looks pretty decent. It's open price, so you can go here, click download, and put $0 and get it, just if you want to support me. Once again, any of the open price one, the dice and the 2 keychains, there's actually going to be a third keychain soon, which is a little crystal. Any of those, if you would like to just download it to help support my profile to get more attention to it, that'd be greatly appreciated. Now the last one, the wooden mug. This is actually something one of my more recent ones. I wanted to try to make a mug to resin print because I wanted to see about making a cup to drink from. I never actually made a cup that was fully drinkable, but this does hold water. It is completely sealed. I don't know why it renders like that. You can see here the handle connects to the inside, and then from the top, these supports actually hit the edge. So it looks like it's holding it together. I really like the way this one came out. It's not very complicated, but that also makes it easy to print. Also, I did all of these renderings in Blender with cycles, which made my CPU freak out. But yeah, because this one actually took quite a bit of time to make, it's $5. I think that's a fair price. Once again, it's commercial use. Everything in my shop is commercial use, even the free ones. So feel free to use it, feel free to print it, and if you would like to buy something, all the money that I get from here gets reinvested. Thank you for watching, and I will be putting out new videos soon. Plus, I plan to start streaming once a week, which is something new. I'm also going to possibly dual stream to Twitch, but we'll see.